time for part 2 of my favorite demos from NextFest of June 2026. Sit back and enjoy another selection of fantastic demos and upcoming games you should check out. We're beginning today's episode with Well Dweller. This is the next game from the developer of Crypt, Custodian, and Islets. We play a bird who lives in a world where apparently everyone really hates birds. And when their family is kidnapped, we must brave the kingdom to get them back with a matchstick and apparently Molotov in hand. This is once again another Metroidvania where you'll explore the world, collect upgrades, and beat the snot out of anything that gets in your way. Like their previous games, there is a heavy emphasis on exploration and then some very challenging bosses. The footage that you're seeing is being played on highest difficulty. The movement tech felt really nice. Kind of the game's unique feature is that your matchstick can be shot out like an arrow and then used as a makeshift platform to get around. There are trinkets to equip that will allow you to customize your build, and I just really love the art style, especially some of the backgrounds and character art. Difficulty wise, it's kind of hard to tell. The platforming is pretty much like your standard that if you've played any kind of dash-based Metroidvania, you should be well accustomed to it. You do get bubble tech that allows you to propel yourself in different directions. And really curious to see kind of how far the game is going to go in terms of advanced challenges, because we did do a time trial that was incredibly tight to get it going. So this one is going to be for the challenging Metroidvania fans, who of course are also bird fans along the way. And now we go to ScreenBound. We play a boy who apparently their mother has invented an entire video game universe, but now she's trapped in it. And in order to get her out, we must explore 2D and 3D in order to save the day. This is a, bear with me on this one, a 2D first-person puzzle platformer. How it works is you're playing the game both in 2D and 3D at the same time. Your Q-Boy is your kind of guide to the two-dimensional world. What happens in the 2D world affects the first-person or 3D world and vice versa. And you must use both in order to find various collectibles and make your way through the different obstacles. Some things will only show up in 2D, and you'll need to kind of figure out how they position themselves in relation to the 3D environment. There are of course bonus challenges to find, a lot of video game references to uncover, and much more. The idea is a really great concept, but there is one thing that's a bit frustrating. You see, the Q-Boy always takes up the bottom of your screen. But you see, the bottom of your screen is where the platforms are that you're going to need to jump in first person. So it becomes very frustrating trying to gauge distance and make those jumps when you're trying to look at things in first person, especially when you're doing jumps that are kind of like at different vertical positioning, which the 2D dimension doesn't really quite show off all that well. So it can lead to this frustration and kind of split focus. I do wonder it would have been a little bit easier to process if the screen was kind of set up more like a DS style, where kind of like the top half of the screen shows everything in that respect, bottom half of the screen shows everything in that respect, and there's no kind of like overlaying effect going on. It's hard to tell again how advanced the puzzles are going to be in the full game, as again it's mostly focused on first and 2D platforming and keeping track of where things are. Still, a really great concept for a game, and if you're in the mood to do some, I guess, 5-dimensional puzzle solving, then definitely give this one a play. And now we go to Hyper Bun Buster Rocket Hammer Action. This is an arcade-style action game where you play a bunny girl who, well, is like bashing lots of slimes and animals for some reason. And we're going to have to explore a variety of environments and eat a lot of carrots to go along with it. This is a kind of bump/focus game, where you do damage by running to enemies. When an enemy is stunned, Hitting them with the hammer a second time will kind of send them careening forward, allowing them to hit additional enemies. The game boasts having a kind of story/adventure mode along with the arcade footage that you're seeing here. And the story mode will have puzzles and more things to do, while the arcade mode is just going through levels. Despite the look of this one is quite challenging. The footage you're seeing was played on second highest difficulty. Highest difficulty is nasty in terms of how fast enemies move and behave. The controls are a little stiff in this one. It feels like it's trying to emulate kind of classic arcade controls and like that very stiff arcade stick we used to play way back when. But this one looks like it's going to be a very delightful and charming game, if you don't mind a little bit of challenge to go with it. So if you're in the mood to do some hammer busting, then definitely give it a try. And we're really switching gears for our next game with Washington Prime. This is a first-person shooter designed to be an homage to all the 90s FPS and kind of late 80s, early 90s action movies. When bad guys have invaded a tower, it is up to us to be the one man to get out and hopefully not die hard in the process. I'm surprised this game was made. I think this is either in GZ or UZ Doom. But the structure here is that you'll explore very wide environments looking for any resources and items you can scavenge while dealing with the bad guys who are very, very good at shooting you. You can of course lean around corners, look for armor and other health pickups. The footage you're seeing is being played on high difficulty, and this game is quite nasty. The AI feels a little bit overtuned in this version. Like, they will not only track you, but they can also sidestep your bullets. And in many cases, they can shoot faster than you can even react. This is also one of those games where you will want to use quick saving quite a bit, as the floors are quite large in that respect. The game will also come with FMV for some good old 90s cheese, and it's a very interesting homage to that era. So if you're in the mood to, once again, shoot up some 90s style skyscrapers, then at least give this one a try. We're really switching gears once again with Spiritstead. This is a cozy kind of village builder, all done in the style of like a Studio Ghibli work. It's your mission to build hamlets filled with adorable little villagers and cute spirits that will help you. The structure is that you'll complete various goals to unlock additional buildings and level up, which will in turn unlock more things to do. Villagers will need food, and you'll get access to different food and resource suppliers as you progress that will basically earn more. Each villager can also belong to a different profession that will determine which one you want to kind of attach them to. You'll eventually unlock spirits who can gather resources for you and do other things. And there's a kind of mini-game of you uncovering more spirits by performing specific tasks within the world. And you can also get hints by spending money to get them. This one is definitely more on the cozy side. It's not going to be going for like Frostpunk levels of challenge. But I really am curious to see kind of how far the full game will go in terms of what you can do, where your village will grow to, etc, etc. I do hope they kind of give you an option to reduce the bloom effect, because it can be a little disorienting and a little hard to see. I also ran into an issue where I lost a villager somewhere and I had no idea where they got to. So having like a job or profession finder would also be handy. But this is still a very charming and just delightful game to play. So if you're in the mood to do some cozy village building and looking for some cute spirits to help you, definitely give this one a try. It's our first bullet heaven for our series with Midnight Horde. You are battling monsters up, around, and over various buildings. The kind of twist here is that the game is played 2.5D style, as you're able to maneuver freely around the various environments. The meta progression comes in the form of not only unlocking more passive stats, but being able to build more kind of structures and elements in each level that will let you parkour around more and provide additional bonuses. Of course, you'll beat up lots of enemies, level up, gain more weapons, let you beat up more enemies, and so on. The movement is quite nice, but I wish there was like a little bit more in relation to how it works with combat. Like being able to like jump around and hit enemies, use things in the environment to hurt them, that kind of thing. Because otherwise you're just kind of moving around waiting for your very slow weapons to do the job. I am wondering how much more there'll be in the main game in terms of unlocks, things that will change or mix things up. But the concept here, at least at the base level, is quite interesting. So this could be another bullet heaven for fans looking to do a little bit more jumping around with their bullet heavening in the future. And now we go to Draco and the 7 Scales. This is a Zelda-inspired action-adventure game. You play a pirate who has been tasked to explore the sea looking for the 7 Scales in order to complete a bargain. And we're going to have to explore on land and sea in order to do so. The game's kind of unique hook is that the level design is split between exploring like on land or the overworld, and being able to get onto your boat and explore these open oceans. Being able to manipulate things in the ocean or out there, that will affect the tiles and the other spaces. You'll of course gain different weapons, different upgrades, and solve a variety of puzzles. From my time with the demo, it feels like this is going to be on the moderate side. I don't think it's going to be like an overly challenging take, but still a really solid concept for a Zelda-like. I'm curious to see like how much the sailing and the boat will come into play in terms of puzzle solving and exploration. And if you're in the mood for a pirate-themed Zelda-like adventure, then it is a very easy recommendation to check out. Now we get to the incremental portion of our video, starting with meaningless random numbers that feels like an attack against me. You are in hell, and the devil has agreed to help you buy your way into heaven and shoot God in the face with a gun. But you have to earn enough money to get that privilege. You'll roll dice, and as you get pairs and matches, you'll earn money. You'll need to pay the devil their due in order to progress. Now you'll eventually unlock the ability to get bullets, which will let you shoot people to up your fear stat to get a greater multiplier. And the meta progression in this one will unlock more features, make it easier to avoid probability. One of the best ones is that you'll get the ability to remove numbers off the dice. So it's very hard to fail a 100% chance to roll a 4. And the game is definitely going for a very surrealistic look, as the fact that God is a fish. And you'll keep rolling and trying to keep your money coming in. Now, from the demo, it's really hard to tell what else there's going to be for a game like this, as I didn't see any kind of like additional elements or more rules. It ends on a very big cliffhanger, and I'm kind of curious / scared to see what else will be in the main game. So if you're looking for a very mysterious incremental, and don't mind that God is a fish, then definitely give this one a try. And now we switch over to an incremental game that's also a platformer, also known as IGTAP. You are exploring a very strange world, and in order to gain the resources and power you need to progress, you must earn your power by doing platforming. So the structure of this one is that you'll go into a kind of platformer section and you complete it. Every time you complete a run, you earn power. Power is your currency to unlock more features, boost things, etc, etc. And each section will award you with kind of a new Metroidvania style upgrade, such as dashing or double jumping, which will let you go through these sections faster. The reason why this is important is that you'll be able to set up clones who will run the area for you, and every time they complete it, you earn resources that way. There's more to explore in the world by finding bonus upgrades by doing advanced challenges, and it's a very compelling mix of an incremental with a platformer. In terms of the platforming design, this one can be a bit on the trickier side. It kind of gets close to Celeste levels, especially once you unlock the double jump and the air dash. And while I didn't get a chance to play it all the way through just because I have so many demos to play, I've heard there's even a B-side level of challenges that even take things further. I really love the concept for this one. It is a bit on the slower side at the start, as you will kind of be limited in terms of what you can do. But once you start getting, again, the kind of platforming bonus mechanics going, there's a lot in terms of getting through these sections as fast as you can, and of course ever improving your time by milliseconds each run. So if you're an Incremental fan who also loves to do some jumping, definitely give this one a try. I'm very curious to play the full game when it is released. And for the last game of our video, we have Grasschopper. You play a bird who has been compelled to cut some mysterious grass in a strange village. And apparently the grass is out to stop us along the way. The progression here is that you'll keep cutting your grass from left to right. You need to keep breathing oxygen, of course, but the heavy grass will stop you. And part of the progression is unlocking a stronger scythe and more better oxygen masks in order to let you get further in. There's a quote-unquote boss at the end of each section that you must defeat. And of course, a massive perk tree that will unlock additional features and more. The kind of secondary subsystem in this is that you'll be able to eventually grow your own grass that you can cut for even more money using the seeds you acquire while exploring the world. And I really like kind of like the haunting aesthetic of why is this grass out to stop us so much going on in the background. The general action here, again, is kept very basic. You're just going to be holding down left click and cutting along the way. I'm interested to see kind of like how far things will go in terms of challenge and what other elements will be unlocked in the full game. But I know they're a very solid incremental to take us out for today's episode. So, for the grass chopping fans in the audience, if you ever want to take revenge on that unruly lawn, then definitely give this one a play. And with that, another showcase comes to an end. You'll find links to all the games down below. And we got plenty more demos to come for the rest of this week. So with that, enjoy the rest of your night, and come back for more demos for our stream later tonight, and for our next showcase tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and if you're interested in more of my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.